Hello everybody, my name is Shaan. In this video, I want to talk about what a panic attack feels like. Now, I want to get a little deep in this video. I want to really explain the onset of a panic attack, the first time you get a panic attack. This is for somebody who's just had their first panic attack or is experiencing panic attack, what that first onset is. I want to talk about what it feels like. I want to talk about why it happens, and more importantly, I want to tell you guys what you can do to stop it. So if you like the content in this video, please hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, put your comments down below. Do you resonate with this video? Do you not? Your feedback really helps the channel, and it allows me to continue producing great, valuable content for you guys. So if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Shaan, and I struggled with anxiety and panic attacks years ago. I managed to fully overcome it, and now I get the great fortune of helping others do the same. So without further ado, let's crack into the video. So when you experience your first panic attack, you probably know great details about your first panic attack. You probably know when it happened, probably to the date. You probably know the time. You probably knew exactly where you were and what you felt like. That's the ironic thing about panic attacks. You may be in a meeting in an office. You may be at home watching Netflix, just kind of minding your own business. You may be at a grocery store. You might be getting ready for bed. You might even be asleep. You're just minding your own business, and all of a sudden it comes out of the blue, and you don't know why it happened or how it happened, but you just had this panic attack. Most often when people experience their first panic attack, I like to think of two different types of individuals. There's the individual that when they experience their panic attack, they know it. They're like, oh my God, I'm experiencing a panic attack. Then there's the other type of individual who maybe hasn't struggled with panic attacks or maybe hasn't struggled with anxiety before. That was something I kind of resonated with more. I didn't really know what was going on. And you have these feelings and you say, oh my God, I'm going to die. And so you kind of have this feeling of, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. I'm going to die. You typically have these two different types of individuals. Now, regardless, the panic attack sucks for both of them. It's terrible. They don't want it to happen. Regardless of even if they know they have a panic attack or not, they feel like they're going to die. Oftentimes, the people that don't know that they're having a panic attack the first time, it may even be a little bit stronger, a little bit more prolonged because they're not sure what's happening. So they're obviously thinking the worst case scenario that, oh my God, I'm going to die. So theirs tends to be sometimes a little bit longer, maybe a little bit more intense, but that doesn't take away from the fact that even if you know you have a panic attack, it's still pretty bad. And so what do you feel when you have a panic attack? Well, it kind of varies person by person. Oftentimes you may notice that your heart starts pumping a lot harder, a lot faster. It's pumping so hard that it's almost loud. You may start getting dizzy. You probably got lightheaded. You almost feel like you're going to pass out. You felt like you were going to lose control. You probably started having digestive issues, started sweating, started shaking. These huge responses, that's something that you've never really experienced, that are so strong. You may even have catastrophic thoughts. Believe it or not, catastrophic thoughts, bad things going to happen to you, is actually panic attack kind of, your thoughts are kind of an outlet for panic attacks in that sense. But the important thing is that no two people that experience panic attacks may produce the exact same symptoms, and that's important. You don't want to do a 1-to-1 ratio. Okay, well, for me, my palpitations aren't that bad, but I get stomach issues. Typically, most people don't get stomach issues, so I'm not sure if it's a panic attack. The best way to do this, everybody should do this, is if you're experiencing this, go to a doctor, clarify everything. Make sure everything's good. Typically, they'll run some tests, they'll do some family history, they'll do whatever they need to do, and just to rule out anything physical. Chances are you're probably having a good chance that it's just nothing physical, or there's nothing seriously wrong. You just experienced a panic attack. But, getting things ruled out, that's great, that helps, that's a great blessing in its own way. But what can you do? Why is this happening? And what can you do to stop it? Now, the interesting thing about panic attacks is when you get your first one, or when you start getting them, one of the things you notice is that there's no place safe. There's no place that you can go where you can't have a panic attack. Panic attacks can come up from anywhere. And that's kind of the scary part in itself too, because A, you were probably minding your own business when you first got one. B, it doesn't matter where you are. You can have a panic attack anywhere, and that may actually scare you. So really what I want to talk about is, why does this happen? Why are you experiencing panic attacks? Well, it's important to recognize when you need to understand panic attacks, you need to understand a mechanism that's built in everybody's body. This is called the fight or flight response. that the fight or flight response is the thing that has kept us alive for hundreds of thousands of years. Okay? The fight or flight response is an innate reflex, not just within us, even amongst animals and stuff. And essentially, it's a response where if there is a perceived threat, let's say there's a 900-pound saber-toothed tiger in front of me, my body is going to respond in a way where it's going to either get my body ready to fight or run away. And it does it automatically. It's very fast. Every second counts, when there's a perceived threat. So it's very, very, very quick and very fast at adapting. Now, what happens when it comes to a panic attack is when you're dealing with prolonged stress or an intense amount of stress, your body ends up producing the same response as if it's being attacked by a saber-toothed tiger. Remember, stress is stress. It doesn't matter if it's a saber-toothed tiger or if it's homework due or if it's work stuff or if it's family issues or if it's a major life change. It doesn't matter. Stress is stress. Your body's going to respond in the same way to stress, and that is via the fight or flight response. So what happens is that the fight or flight response, one of the things it does is that it produces excess adrenaline, and this intense feeling is what actually is a panic attack. So you may notice your heart starts palpitating. Your heart starts palpitating because of the excess adrenaline. You start having these intense catastrophic thoughts because your body's producing adrenaline, and essentially there's a huge survival advantage of thinking the worst case scenario when you're actually in danger, because if you're in danger, if you can think of the worst case scenario, you can probably prepare for it. All the blood also starts rushing to your muscles, and they stop going to your stomach and your GI tract, and that's often why you're probably feeling like major stomach upsets or digestive issues or nausea. And a lot of the blood starts rushing to your brain too, which kind of gives you this sense of dizziness and kind of like this vertigo spin. And so the important thing to really recognize is that most important things when it comes to overcoming panic attacks is to understand what's happening. Understanding that your body's responding to a threat that's not there. It's just using excess adrenaline, just kind of burning itself out. That actually in itself takes away a lot of the fear. And most people that even recognize that, oftentimes their panic attacks just start reducing. Now, that's not going to totally stop it. The best way to stop it is understand why you're experiencing panic attacks. And I'm physiologically, once you realize that a panic attack is just nothing but excess adrenaline going through your body, your doctor has ruled out everything. It says you're healthy, there's nothing wrong with you. Then the second thing to do is when you have a panic attack, to fully accept it, to let everything kind of happen. Doesn't mean that's fun, doesn't mean it's easy, but you recognize that what you're experiencing is excess adrenaline, your body's just trying to burn it out. And the panic symptoms that you're feeling, the anxiety symptoms you're feeling are just that. They're just excess adrenaline burning itself out. And what you're experiencing is just a result of that. But you let your body do that because once your body just kind of burns it off, it can relax. So you let the panic attack happen. And just like any panic attack you may have experienced before, panic attacks don't last forever. It's going to burn itself out. We only have a finite amount of adrenaline. So you let it burn itself out. What happens is that you notice that, oh my God, I survived that. Oh my God, I actually got through that. Maybe it's not trying to kill me. Maybe it's just kind of, it sucks. It's a bad feeling, but it didn't kill me. So maybe it's just a panic attack. Maybe it is harmless. And what you end up doing is once you start realizing that, you actually start losing the fear of it. Now, that fear is often what triggers the next panic attack. It's not anything. It's always actually when you have your first panic attack, you're anticipating the next panic attack that often leads to the second panic attack. What happens is that once you experience your first panic attack and you see it through, you notice there's nothing to be scared of. And that anticipation stops from having another panic attack. And that's exactly what happened with me. When I was getting panic attacks, I was like getting it daily, multiple times a day. And once I saw that it wasn't that it was harmless, that it couldn't do anything, my panic attacks decreased so quickly that it just eventually stopped. Now, that didn't kind of help the anxiety. That anxiety is a little bit more stubborn, but my panic attacks fully stopped. So hopefully this kind of gives you guys some insight, some value, some great info. If you guys want to know more, if you guys want to know, okay, this makes sense. How do I stop panic attacks, Shaan? Like, how do I get rid of this anxiety? If you guys want to know more, I have a private Facebook group down below in this private Facebook group. I'm posting exclusive content, even more in-depth info in this Facebook group that I'm not posting on any other social media platform. And when you hit the link down below, it asks you 3 questions. It's very important that you answer these 3 questions to the best of your ability. We're trying to let as many people in as possible, but we're also trying to screen people as well. We want to maintain the integrity of the group. We don't want this to just be another group or forum where people are just kind of complaining about their problems or their stories or trying to story top each other or coming in the situation where they're high anxiety and scaring everybody else in the group. We're really focused on people that are serious about fully overcoming. We're not, these people don't really care too much about short-term comfort. They're concerned about long-term freedom. So if that's you, hit that link down below. I'll see you guys inside.